Have you ever considered that people might still be admiring you, even if you haven't noticed? It's common for older men to doubt their appeal, especially when they're dating someone much younger. You might feel like your charm has faded with time, but the truth is, you may be far more attractive than you give yourself credit for. I end this video. We're breaking down 6 powerful signs that show you're a handsome older man, even if you don't see it in the mirror. These signs go deeper than physical features. They reflect your presence, confidence, and emotional depth, qualities that don't fade with age. Stick with me until the end, because what you learn here could shift how you see yourself and how others experience you. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Younger partners care about who you are, not just how old you are. A major sign that you're a genuinely attractive older man, especially in age gap relationships, is when your younger partner connects with you on a deeper level. They're not with you because of your age or despite it. They're interested in you as a person. It's not about numbers. It's about the emotional connection, the conversations, the way you carry yourself. When someone younger leans in to hear your stories, asks about your past, and shows real curiosity about how you see the world, that's attraction beyond the surface. This kind of attention shows up in the little things, like how closely they listen, how often they ask your opinion, and how comfortable they seem in your presence. These are signs they value you, not just for how you look, but for your wisdom, presence, and experience. Many younger people find maturity attractive. It brings a calm energy, emotional security, and the kind of depth that's hard to find in younger partners. It's that emotional steadiness that sets you apart and draws people in. Take Richard, a 74-year-old painter from Ohio. He started dating a woman 30 years younger who said, "Your age doesn't matter to me. I care about how you see the world." That's not about age. That's about connection, the kind that builds lasting attraction. That it's your personality, your stories, your sense of humor, your whole presence that makes someone want to stay close. You don't need to be flashy or loud. In fact, your quiet confidence is often what makes you stand out the most. Younger partners can feel when someone is being real, and they're drawn to that authenticity. Sometimes they show it in subtle ways, asking for your advice, sharing personal things with you, or simply enjoying being around you more than anyone else. What this really means is that your worth isn't tied to your age, but to the energy you bring into someone's life. When you understand this, you gain confidence, and that confidence opens doors to deeper, more meaningful relationships across any age. Sign number 2. You bring calmness into the relationship. One clear mark of an attractive older man, especially to someone younger, is that you bring peace, not pressure. Think about it. When you were younger, relationships may have felt like a whirlwind, full of drama, ego clashes, and emotional ups and downs. But now, you're grounded. You don't get thrown off by every little misunderstanding. You bring stability, not chaos. And that calm presence, that's magnetic. Younger partners often carry a lot on their shoulders, chasing careers, figuring themselves out, dealing with noise from the world. When they step into your world and find peace instead of pressure, it's like breathing fresh air. You don't rush. You don't demand constant validation. You're just there, fully present, fully relaxed. That kind of emotional ease is rare, and it's deeply attractive. A good-looking man isn't just someone with a nice jawline. It's someone who makes others feel safe. Your maturity becomes the anchor in the storm. And whether she's 30, 40, or 50, if she feels emotionally secure with you, that's a powerful kind of beauty. Your wisdom shows up in how you listen without interrupting, in how you don't need to win every argument, and in how you create space for her to be herself. You don't get jealous over silly things. You don't play games. You offer her something younger guys often can't: emotional maturity. And that's the magic. When a woman feels like she can breathe around you, trust you, open up without fear, she begins to associate your presence with peace. And once someone does that, they don't want to let it go. Sign number 3. You stop trying to prove yourself. Another subtle but powerful sign you're a handsome older man. You're no longer performing for approval. You're not trying to impress everyone. You're not chasing validation. You've made peace with who you are. That quiet confidence, it's magnetic. When a man walks into a room and doesn't need to be the loudest voice, but still gets respect, that's a presence built over years. And younger people feel that. It's the difference between someone trying to be liked and someone who already knows their worth, that you're not flashing status symbols. You're not listing your achievements to look good. You're just living. And that ease is attractive, especially to women who are tired of boys pretending to be men. Attractive older men are defined by their comfort in their own skin. You know what you like. You know what you don't. And you don't waste energy trying to fit into someone else's mold. And here's the beautiful irony. The moment you stop trying to impress, that's often when people become most impressed by you. Let's be real. A man in his 60s or 70s who still has a strong sense of self, that's rare. That's valuable. That's handsome. You might not look in the mirror and see a classic heartthrob. But the woman sitting across from you sees presence, character, and integrity. And that, my friend, is something youth can't manufacture. Think of Paul, a 68-year-old widower who started dating again after decades. He didn't chase. He didn't pretend. He just told the truth about who he was. His new partner told him, "You don't try to be anyone else. And that's the most attractive thing about you." If that sounds like you, then believe it. You're giving off more quiet charisma than you know. Sign number 4. You make people feel seen and heard. You want to know what really sets a handsome older man apart. It's how he treats others, especially in conversation. In a world where most people are just waiting for their turn to talk, you actually listen. You look people in the eye. You take your time before answering. You make others feel like what they say matters. That's not just good manners. That's deeply attractive. Younger partners, especially, notice this. They're used to being interrupted, overlooked, or talked over. But when you slow things down, ask thoughtful questions, and really pay attention, it stands out. It makes them feel respected, valued, understood. This kind of presence doesn't come from charm school. It comes from lived experience. You've been through things. You've learned to read between the lines, and that allows you to respond, not react, to listen, not lecture. That emotional attentiveness is powerful, because in the end, people don't remember what you wore or how fit you were. They remember how you made them feel. And when you leave someone feeling seen and appreciated, they remember it for a long time. It's that emotional generosity, that willingness to give attention without trying to get something back. That makes your presence feel rare and safe. And that's the kind of beauty that only deepens with age. If you notice that people, especially women, tend to open up to you, confide in you, or say things like, "I've never told anyone this before," that's not just coincidence. That's your emotional presence doing its quiet work. If you've ever doubted your attractiveness because of age, think about this. In a noisy world, your ability to make someone feel heard is one of the most powerful, magnetic qualities you could possibly have. Sign number 5. Your life has meaning. With or without a partner, that there's something deeply compelling about a man who isn't waiting to be completed. He's already whole. And that's you. You have purpose. You have routines, passions, goals. Maybe a favorite chair, a sacred morning ritual, or a garden you tend like it's art. You've built a life that has richness and rhythm. And that's not just healthy. It's extremely attractive. Younger women especially are drawn to men who don't need them to feel fulfilled. Not because you're cold or distant, but because you're already centered. You've done the inner work. You've had years to figure out what brings you peace, what gives you energy, what matters most. That kind of self-possession is rare. It means you're not dating out of desperation. You're not looking for someone to fix your loneliness. You're offering a seat at the table, not begging for company. And that kind of confidence, that kind of emotional independence, is incredibly appealing. Take Alan, a 72-year-old sculptor who meets a woman 25 years younger at a community event. She tells her friend later, "He's just so calm in his own skin. Like he doesn't need anything from me, but he still makes me feel wanted." That's the sweet spot. When you build a life that's full and meaningful, relationships become the icing, not the cake. And that makes people want to be around you even more. Because you're not clinging. You're inviting. That if you're doing things you love, whether that's writing, fishing, mentoring, or just walking at sunrise with your favorite coffee, you're radiating something powerful, contentment. And contentment is rare. Contentment is attractive. It says, "I know who I am. I know what I enjoy. And I'd love to share it with you. Not because I need you to complete me, but because I want you to be part of this world I've built. That's not just maturity. That's quiet charisma. Sign number 6, you're still curious. About life. About love. About her, there's a spark in you even now. Maybe especially now. You haven't given up on learning, growing, or exploring. You still ask questions. You still want to understand people, discover new places, try new things. That curiosity, it keeps you vibrant. It keeps you attractive, because here's the truth. A man doesn't become old when he gets wrinkles. He becomes old when he stops being curious. And you haven't stopped, you're still interested in life. And it shows in the way you listen to stories, the way you talk about music or history or philosophy. You're still engaged. And when you meet someone new, you don't just talk about yourself, you ask about them. Their dreams, their thoughts, their take on the world, that you're not stuck in your era. You respect your past, sure, but you're also open to the present, open to the now. That's powerful. That's rare. This kind of energy is what makes you stand out to a younger partner. It's not about trying to act young. It's about being alive. Curious men are attractive men at any age, because curiosity says, I haven't closed the book on life. I'm still writing. It makes your presence feel like a discovery, not a routine. And that kind of presence, that's deeply magnetic. Closing message, here's the truth, my friend. Good looks evolve, they mature, they deepen, they stretch far beyond the mirror. If you saw even one of these signs in yourself, then believe this. You're a good-looking man, in the ways that matter most, that it's not about your hairline, your waistline, or the year on your birth certificate. It's about the way people feel when they're around you. It's about the life you've lived, the stories you carry, the calm you bring, the depth you offer. Don't underestimate that, ever, because while the world may chase youth, what it really craves is wisdom, confidence, emotional security, and connection. And you carry all of that, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because that's just who you are now. So the next time you wonder if you're still attractive, still desirable, still good-looking, remember this. A man who brings peace, lives with purpose, listens deeply, and stays curious is magnetic at 60, at 70, at any age. And if someone sees that in you, they're lucky to be in your orbit.